So this is going to be a short webinar. It was a bonus to a remote client system, which I thought was just an amazingly killer product. This is being recorded. I don't have a way to specifically get it to you guys as a group. That's a technical issue, okay? Which is not interesting, but it's true. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll pop this up on YouTube, and if you actually, I'll just, like put it unlisted or something. And if you want to review this, then please hit me up in support, and I'll give you my support link before we quit today. Hit me up in support and say, hey, Lee, I'd like to look at that webinar again. Could you send me the link to it? So we'll do it like that. Cool beans. So we got a few PowerPoints to get through, then we're going to go out online and do some stuff. Now, just so you know, my goal is not to not to redo the training. Matter of fact, I looked at the remote client system training again today. I mean, I didn't go through everything. I just, sort of glanced at it. It is really, really good. Did you guys like it? Or have you gone through it? If so, let me know. I thought it was really, really top notch. I thought they had, well, it's a proven system, number one. Yeah, Tom, I agree. It was really cool. It's a proven system. It is a way for you to prospect that is probably, and we'll get into this in the webinar, what might mess this up, but is probably very time effective. It's also a great way to prospect long distance. And, I mean, any of you guys who know me know that I love the phone. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with just calling up a business and, quickly telling them your deal and asking them if they need that. But barring that, this is really, really cool. And, so again, my goal is not to redo this at all, because that would be utterly stupid. And I have enormous faith in Tom and Nick. Know them both very well, especially Tom. But I want to add to it. When Tom told me about this, I interviewed him, and that interview is up on YouTube also if you want to take a look at it. But when Tom was telling me about this, I was thinking, this is real. It's amazingly cool, but it's also very, very applicable to selling a lot of other stuff. And remote client system did not get into too much about exactly what you were selling. And if you looked at the interview, actually, Tom said that. Hold on a second. Let's do this just so we can get on the same page here. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you very likely want to do that. We'll just get that link and pop it up here for you. I'll pop it in the chat. But you can subscribe to it, then you can search the channel. And I always put the name of the product, and if I'm interviewing someone, their name, so you can find it that way. Let's get back in this. Okay, let's do that. Here we go. Okay, so cool. Training I thought was great. I knew that this was not a lack. I am not dissing the product at all. I thought it was one of the best things I've seen all year. It could kind of leave you hanging. I mean, basically what they're giving you is an awesome way to contact businesses that's very low stress, but also that works. And it didn't get into too much about what you're going to sell. And that's really what I wanted to offer you, was talk a little bit more about the kinds of things you could sell doing this, and basically about what as you're thinking. Let's say you're good at something, and let's just call that X. Okay, so you're good at this internet marketing thing called X. Facebook ads management. Okay, well, I mean, what is the deal? How would you use this quick screencast method of prospecting? I mean, how would you use that actually to to get to get someone interested in perhaps you helping them with their ad management? So I want to go over that. I want to go over what makes this work, and then I want to go over some stuff you can sell with it, because I think once you get that in your heads, then you would be able to look at the types of things that you sell and say, oh, now I know how to take that approach and marry it with this thing that I'm trying to build a business around, because this basically can be used to sell a lot of different stuff. So I think I made that point clear. Yep. I'm just reading down my notes here. Okay, so we're going to cover the following: what makes Tom and Nick's technique special, some ideas of what to sell, and how to approach this with the client. And we are going to go out in the webinar and take a look at some stuff. And this is not going to be a super long webinar. It was a bonus. So, and I appreciate your time and I appreciate your being here. So, what makes the technique special? It's visual. I mean, I don't know if a picture is worth 1,000 words or 2,000 words or 10,000 words or 4 words or whatever. There's something about visual that catches their attention, right? I mean, it is, I mean, just think about it. It is so much easier to get someone's attention by showing them a picture than it is to talking to them. I mean, people, you ever like sat down with a friend at Starbucks, or maybe sat down with a potential client in their boardroom or at Starbucks or something like that, and you're talking and you can see their eyes kind of darting around and they're getting distracted, and you know that A, they're bored by what you're saying, or don't find that it's applicable to them, but also there are things going on around them that is getting their attention. The stuff that's going on around them is visual. Visual is massively better for getting the attention of a human being than auditory. That's one thing that makes this work so well. This is what I call show and sell selling. So basically, and you know, I've been doing this myself for, well, ever since I got started in this business back in 2010. The essence of show and sell selling, which is a really, really good way of selling. It takes a lot of stress off of you. It puts the burden of selling the product on the stuff that you're showing the prospect, instead of you having to sit there and explain stuff, okay? Which is generally the much harder way to sell. So the essence of show and sell selling, a show and sell sales presentation would go approximately like this. Number one, show the prospect what they have. So let's say you're selling a website. You've got a business that has an old website, and whether you're doing this via video or whether you're doing it in person, show them their old website. I mean, don't diss it, but just show them their old website. Looks clunky. It looks kind of like 2007 and blah, blah, blah. Show them what they have. Show them what they could have. In other words, compare and contrast. So show them a website that you or somebody made yesterday that looks really, really snazzy. So show them what they have, show them what they could have, point out the differences, and then you close for the next step. Now, if it's a sales presentation, you're going to close for the sale. If you are making a video of that process, which is basically what the remote client system prospecting system is talking about, if you're going to make a video of that process, then your call to action obviously wouldn't be send me $5,000 for a new website. That's probably not going to happen with just one email, but it would be here's my contact information, please call me back if you're interested, or call me back or reply to this email if you're interested, in that with a call to action. Showing and selling is a really, really, really super powerful way of selling. Again, it's non-threatening. Excuse me, I had to take a swig of water. It's non-threatening. It takes the burden of explaining off of you, And in sales in general, if you've ever taken any courses about how to sell from me, you know that I am really big on the fact that if you are talking, you the salesperson, if you are talking, you are screwing up in general, like 97% of the time, okay? So show and sell handles that. Show and sell, non-threatening to you, non-threatening to the prospect, gives them something to look at, takes the burden off of you. It's visual. Human beings, we're predators. We are excited about visual things. As long as you follow this process, show them what they have, show them what they could have. That's very, very simple. Compare and contrast, close for the next step. Your sales presentations can, I mean, if you are guilty of spending 45 minutes, let's say on Zoom, or an hour in front of somebody at Starbucks or something like that, you can collapse your sales presentation down to 15 minutes this way. It's going to be a better sales presentation. It's also going to be, it's going to have a higher close ratio. And you can, it's a lot less stressful, and you can do a lot more of it. So no matter what you're doing, okay, whether you're trying to get somebody to buy something from you, or using Tom and Nick's method, you're trying to get someone to contact you or interested in your deal, whatever you're selling. To my mind, showing and selling is the way to go. Now, here's some ideas of some stuff to sell, and you will notice that if you've been following me for any period of time, you will notice that this is the kind of stuff that I've sold for years and love to sell. And I want to go, we're going to go out on the internet in just a second, and I want to show you how I would approach each of these with a quick video. Now, I'm not going to make a video for you. That would be utterly stupid. You guys are can all make, you know, your own videos. If you don't know how to do that, just look at Tom and Nick's training. It goes over the details of technology quite well. I'm here to open your mind to other things. We're going to talk about press releases. We're going to talk about social media posting. Gene Kalinda and Ben Adkins have launched today a really cool product about, it's called Microservices Empire. It's about social media posts. It's about you handling the social media posting for chiropractic businesses. A really, really cool thing for you to be able to do. I've known Jean for years. She's a really good friend of mine, and I've watched her build up yet another autopilot income. The woman's a genius, frankly, to build up yet another autopilot income just with simple social media posting, and it doesn't take any of her time because it's all done through software. And then we're going to go look at LinkedIn profiles, and I want to show you what I would talk about very quickly on one of these prospecting videos. Now, granted, you want this to be fairly short. Everybody in the world has a short attention span. You don't want to send somebody something that's super long, because they're going to look at it and say, holy crap, I don't have time to look at 25 minutes of something. That's utterly stupid. The show and sell process takes care of that, okay? Because what you have, what you could have, here's what to do next. Are we seeing my screen? Or have I totally screwed up? Joseph, I can mess this up. I've only been doing webinars for about a decade. And I've done thousands. And I can forget to hit the right button. So can you? Okay, Jason says we're seeing ideas of what to sell page. So Joseph, I don't know what you need to do. Probably back out of the webinar and come back in, I would guess. And, you know, try that. Everybody else can see it. So I know it's on your, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's on your end and not my end. I've done my part. Again, not unusual for me to get all excited and start talking a blue streak, and then somebody say, hey, Lee, you know, 10 minutes later, we can't see the screen. Okay, so cool beans. So let's go out on the internet. I want to look at each of these, and I want to talk you through the kinds of things that are psychologically going to get the attention of what you're trying to sell. So we talked about press releases at first, right? Well, who needs a press release? Virtually every business on the planet can benefit from a press release, but you got to kind of think through that. Your average hair salon is not going to really understand the benefits of a press release. Your average firm of attorneys is going to absolutely understand the benefit of a press release. Other types of businesses that are going to automatically understand the benefits of a press release would be speakers, CPAs, you know. I don't really know what would, I don't know what would be the commonality between a public speaker and a CPA and an attorney. I can just tell you through experience that they're all going to absolutely understand the value of a press release, whereas an auto body shop, probably not. A hair salon, probably not. So you just got to use your head about if you want to sell press releases, which is a fabulous thing to sell. And if y'all don't know how to sell this stuff, I pulled up some links for you. A lot of people on my list have already bought this. This is one of our best-selling products right here. But if you want to know actually what to do to sell a press release, besides what I'm going to tell you on this webinar, go take a look at that. So the first thing you got to do is you got to target your market, and Tom and Nick's thing talks a lot about targeting, but you got to target who you're trying to sell to. Again, it's going to be an uphill slog if you're trying to sell press releases to hair salons. It just will. It's, for one thing, geographically, it's a super, you know, hair salons pull from geographically a super small area, right? Attorneys will already know and be using press releases a lot. So what I would do is, if I were talking to an attorney or sending a video to talk to an attorney about press releases, I would just pull up some press releases. So I would do the following, okay? Now, number one, and I don't have any attorneys pulled up here, and I'm not going to waste your time while I pull them up and search, but I would, once I got, however you're getting a list of potential clients, all right, whether you're doing it, you could use Corey's LinkedIn software that sold about a month ago, which is awesome. You could use, there was Leads 360 or something like that, great software. You can just do what I used to do and built an entire business doing, just Google business name plus location, divorce attorneys, Atlanta divorce attorneys, Miami divorce attorneys, Tallahassee, whatever, right? Okay, I mean, you can just do, I mean, since we're talking, I put in divorce attorneys here, right? That's a fine way of doing things. So however you're getting that potential list of clients or potential clients to hit up, the first thing I would do is try to figure out if your potential client has ever published a press release. Now, I would not get all OCD about this and worry about whether they published one 4 years ago. I'm looking for the attorney client who's publishing them regularly, because now I would still approach them, quite frankly, but the approach to them is going to be different than the approach to the attorney firm, and then this is going to be 95% of them that aren't publishing press releases at all. It's going to be a different approach. But so find out if they're generally every once in a while, every year, every 6 months, you know, if they're hip to press releases. And what I would do in a video is I would just show them some press releases, especially you want to go over the kinds of things that press releases can do nowadays given the internet. People who aren't hip to the internet still in the year 2019, especially if you're of a certain age, which I am. although I'm not guilty of not knowing how things work. People still think of press releases as essentially a thing on a piece of paper that's sent to journalists. And with the advent of the internet, with the advent of sites like PR Web and tons of others, the target for sending press releases to has expanded just massively, all right? And also press releases get indexed, obviously, and due to the nature of the platforms they're on, like PR Web is a huge, huge site that gets a massive amount of traffic. Due to the nature of the platforms they're on, they tend to have a lot of authority. In other words, that helps with ranking. But instead of focusing in on the press release itself, okay, the subject of the press release, I would focus in on the things that the internet can do that a print press release can't do so much. For instance, nice picture, you're not always going to see that in print press release. And especially right here, you're going to see these links. Look down here, right here, when I hover over that. DFWdivorce.com, Brian Bagley. So I would stress the fact that the press release has links in it which are going to link back to the client's site. As a matter of fact, you can link. Most people you talk to aren't going to know. You guys know this, but most people you talk to aren't going to know this. You can link back to specific pages on the client's site. Like if Brian Bagley's one of 10 attorneys, you can go to Brian's page here, right? I'm not saying you should be condescending to the people you're talking to, but I am saying that you really, really, really don't want to assume that the rest of the world knows what you guys know. The attorneys, look, see where that's linking to. Now again, look down here, see where I'm wiggling my mouse. Beal Law Firm, it's going to the About page, okay? Let's see where consultations goes to Contact Us. See, this is really, really cool. That is just a quick video talking about the reasons that you might want to publish a press release, but especially when you get into the SEO benefits and when you get into the fact that it's going to rank and when you get into the fact that it's going to have all these links that go back to the client site, that becomes a real selling point, and their Google Plus and their when was this printed? I mean, when was this written? 2019. Oh well. But anyway, their social media, et cetera, et cetera. So those would be the kinds of things that you would want to talk about. You don't waste a lot of time talking about it, but those would be the kinds of things that you would want to talk about with the press release, and then you would end up with a call to action, right? You always got to tell people what to do next. And I would end the video saying, so if this interests you, here's what you need to do next. Hit reply, just say, hi Lee, thank you so much for sending me this video. I'm very interested in this. Could you please call me? Give me your number. We will call you. Or here's my phone number. My office number, please call me. Something like that, all right? So you want to tell people exactly what to do. If you focused at it, I mean, like if you, how long would it take to make that video, right? What? You could easily do that in 7 minutes, okay? How many 7-minute videos can you make and send out in a day? Well, 10 would be an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so let's say it took you 14 minutes. So 2 or 3 hours? You know, 2 or 3 hours sending out 10 of these? You're going to get some people calling you back and wanting to know more about your press release service. Press releases, in case you're not hip to these sell for a lot of money, guys, okay? But you can get them written for a lot less money, which I go over in my course, which I popped the link in there to Press Release Empire. That also has some software that is just amazingly good software. I use that software myself, for myself and for our clients. Ignore those dogs. Those are my rescue dogs. I just use the software. So now you have several ways of writing a press release. So that's how I would sell press releases. Let's talk about social media posting. And I pulled up plumbers. I mean, Jean's thing right now that she's selling is about chiropractors. It really doesn't matter. She does have, in case you're like super interested in plumbers, I like to sell to blue collar companies, blue collar type businesses, but she does have a really, really nice product aimed at social media posts, aimed at creating a social media posting business aimed at plumbers. Okay. So look, right before the webinar, got on Facebook. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Got on Facebook. I just typed in plumbers near me. I got 1, 2, 3 plumbing companies, and I opened their tabs here. Now, you would think that since they're at the top here, All Good is a really big company. I don't really know about those two. All Good here in Atlanta, the top one, they advertise on the radio a lot. But you would think, since those, I mean, Atlanta's a city of like 6 million people, you know, Metro Atlanta, you would think that these people have it figured out, everything that they need to do online, offline, et cetera, to grow their business, because here they are doing very, very well in search results. Now, granted, if you lived in a different part of Atlanta, you're going to get different search results, but still, right? Well, let's go see. So a social media posting service, a social media posting service basically does exactly that. It posts relevant content to the client's Facebook page for their business once a day or twice a day or once every 2 days or whatever you and your client agree to. You can set this all up via software. If you don't know how to do that, go buy Jean's product, that link that I put in the chat there. It tells you all about how to do this. You can set this up and never have to touch it. And Jean sells this service for about $100 a month, and she has she told me how many clients she had gotten up to. I've forgotten the exact number. She has what most people would consider a very, very nice income. She's built this up over a year, a very, very nice income. Just doing this one thing. She does other stuff, but just doing this one thing, she's built up a very, very nice income just doing this one thing. And the beautiful thing is it's all on autopilot. It takes her 2 hours to sort of onboard a new client, and after that, forever, and I really mean forever, she never has to do a thing with them again. But anyway, All Good, big company. Let's see when let's see what we're doing here. We are currently, let's move back up. This is October the 22nd, so we got some posts. September the 4th. Well, let's see what else we got. September the 4th, June the 27th, April the 30th, April, May, June. It looks like they're on like the once a quarter plan. Oh, somebody apparently got really excited in April, and that's just disgusting. Somebody got really excited in April and March and started posting a bunch of stuff. Guys, All Good is a big company. I mean, I don't know how many trucks they got, but they're a big company here in Atlanta. They need help. Now, it's not guaranteed because, you know, I mean, you have no idea if they want to do this or not, but these guys and the amount of money that they spend on advertising, an extra $100 a month is just chicken feed to these guys. So you could make their page look so much better with a social media posting service. Okay, now what I would do, and by the way, you've got 2 others that are even worse here, and these are just the top 3. I think October the 8th, October the 3rd, October the 2nd. Well, these guys are doing pretty good. September the 24th. Okay, so this one's doing pretty good. And this one here, where are we? Let's go back up to the top. July the 12th. Okay, so this one sucks. So I live in a big city. I searched plumbers near me. I took the top 3. 2 of them need help with social media posting. Now, how would you use Tom and Nick's video prospecting to show a client what you could do for them? Show and sell. Okay, so what I would do is now you want to be careful. Allen's Plumbing, you don't want to diss them or make them feel bad about what they're doing. I would just have a quick screen capture of this page, video screen capture, okay? Quick video capture of this page, and just say, hi, I'm so-and-so with blah, 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 and I help businesses like yours with their social media posting. And I just noticed, look, today's October the 22nd. I noticed the last time you guys posted was July the 12th, and before that, you're posting on February the 11th. And before that, you're posting on September of last year. And then remember, show and sell. Show them what they have, show them what they could have. The next thing I would do would be to show them a page that I had set up as a demo page, okay? Where you're posting every day. I would just flip over to the demo page and I would say, this is what your social media posting could look like. And I would just sort of roll down the demo page a little bit and say, here's a post today, here's a post yesterday, here's a post yesterday. As you can see, not only are we posting every day on this demo page, but you have very, very appropriate, friendly kind of stuff that's going to brand your business real well. And so I just wanted to send you this quick video to alert you to that, and I can help you with this. If you would like some help with this, now you're going to tell them, what to do next. Just reply to this email and say, yeah, Lee, I'd like to know more, or I got my phone number here. Just give me a call back, and I would be very happy to talk to you about our service, and basically make your Facebook page look a heck of a lot better. So a pitch like that on the video would work really, really well. What they have, what they could have, what to do next, all right? So we've covered press releases, we've covered social media posting. One of my other favorite, it's almost like lead generation, except you can get paid for it, all right? One of my favorite ways of getting new clients is through fixing up business people's Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, fixing up business people's LinkedIn profiles, all right? Let me show you what I mean. So let's just open this up. Here, this is me, right? And let's just open that up. So when you land on somebody's LinkedIn page and you're looking at it, there is going to be a section called About. And you can see more, and you can see that I have a very, very nice, we call this a profile summary in the LinkedIn marketing business. I have a very, very nice profile summary, okay? Now, I wonder if other people have nice profile summaries. How would we figure this out? Well, let's go here and let's just take a look at a few of my connections. So let's look at my first tier connections. These are my direct connections. And let's just open these up. Okay, let's see who has a decent profile summary. You probably, as you're talking, would want to help the person understand why their profile, this is something that I'm playing around with Agile, just forget that. Help them understand why they might want a good profile summary. And if you don't understand that, if that's not something that you're hip to, I have a really great course that will help you with that. My purpose here is really not to sell you a bunch of courses, but I mean, if you want to buy a bunch of stuff, please feel free. But my purpose here is to give you the information that you need. So how many tabs did I open up? 4. So let's go over here and see who has who has a good profile summary or good about page. Why is this so important? In case you don't understand how LinkedIn works, this is so important because when you're messaging someone, when you're sending out a connect request, which is how you build your audience, it is highly likely that the person on the receiving end of that is going to go to your profile and see who the heck you are. And so your profile becomes what I call your silent sales letter. It's like your online sales letter. So notice that this is actually written kind of sort of like a gentle sales letter, okay? So positioning statement, how long have you been trying to make money online? How well is that working for you? We've got our bullet points and then call to action, okay? So if these people are trying to sell stuff, which virtually everyone is trying to sell something on Facebook, it's grown far beyond being just a place to post your resume. If you're trying to sell something, it would behoove you to have an about page, which would really help explain who you are, what your business is, and tell people, again, the call to action in the next step. Well, Mary has committed the cardinal sin of not even having a picture. So Mary, if you ever listen to this, okay, Mary doesn't even have an about page. Mary has 57 connections. So this page needs an enormous amount of help, but I would still, I mean, Mary is still a direct connection of mine. Notice I can open up a message tab and I can send out a message to Mary, or hint, send a link to a video that I made comparing and contrasting, right? Showing and selling. What would I compare and contrast and show and sell? Well, I would basically say exactly the same thing. It's the same pattern. Hi, Mary, this is Lee Cole. I blah, blah, stumbled on your LinkedIn page. And notice that if you're using LinkedIn for marketing, there's some things that you might want to do to help you out. I personally would not mention the picture or anything or the connections because I'm trying to sell a LinkedIn profile. And I would say, well, for one thing, you don't have any about section. And I know a lot of people don't like to write and don't really even know what to write in the about section. If it looks like owner experts marketing choice, it looks like maybe you're trying to sell marketing stuff through LinkedIn, which is, I applaud you for doing that. But it's going to help a lot if you have a really good about section. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about, and then I wouldn't have all these tabs open, obviously, when I'm making the stupid video. But I would just, go over to your page, right? This is me. My name's Lee Cole, and here's my about page. And you will notice that when you look at this, and I would go over it in more detail on the video with, for your prospect to look at than, guys, I am doing for you right now on the webinar. But I would go over a few of these little dealies. And again, if you don't understand why this is written the way it's written, you can pick up Passive LinkedIn Goldmine if you want to really get into this, and it will help you understand why this is written the way it's written. But anyway, I would compare and contrast. I would just tell Mary, look, this is going to help you. I would explain why it's going to help her. Again, I would keep the video down to very short. You want to get in, you want to deliver the information, you want to get out. So you want to say, here's what you got, here's what you could have, this is what to do next. That one's pretty obvious. So let's look at this one. Winston, now notice I just opened a few, right? I mean, I didn't pick and choose these. Well, we got a picture and we got 500 connections, so we're good there. Do we have any kind of about page? I'm not seeing it. So, I mean, put yourself in a prospect's shoes. If you need lead generation, you have no idea what this guy does at all. I can see nothing that would even help me understand in depth what this person does, and that's what the about section is for. And then there's, so if I were on LinkedIn, and I were looking on there for someone to help me with that aspect of my business, I can guarantee you Winston's not going to get called. Okay. But I mean, you don't want to say it that harshly on your video, but you do want to compare and contrast. Winston, hi, this is, Lee, I'm blah, 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 blah. Took a look at your page, and same, I'm not going to repeat it, but it's exactly the same thing that I told Mary, comparing his page to your own page, excuse me, in my case, my page, and just say, we can help you with that. We can fix that up for you for not a lot of money, and it's going to really help you make a lot more sales. Give me a call if you're interested, or reply to this, message. If we're going to message Winston through here, reply to this message if you're interested. Let's look at the next one. I think I'm proving my point, right? That there's a world of businesses who need a world of business people, rather, who need a lot of help with this kinds of stuff. Well, who's this guy? Harry has an about page that's just too short. That's gratuitous. In other words, that doesn't do anything. Thank you for the visit and welcome. Nobody cares when you join LinkedIn. Now this is good. I mean, here he's talking about the kinds of stuff he can do. Nobody cares about your common interest. So, and again, I would not be that critical about it. I'm just pointing this out for you guys in a video that I sent Harry. But it's like, here's what you got, here's what you could have, here's what you need to do next to find out more about that same pattern. Send out cards, so that's an MLM. These guys still need help. Don't diss MLMs. I've got a world of friends who have made amazing money with MLMs. As a matter of fact, it's kind of like on my bucket list before I check out from this particular existence of mine to build out. This is going to be a few years in the future, but to build out a huge network. I've always wanted to do that, but never really had the time because I was running like, 2 or 3 other businesses and, in parallel. But anyway, here's Marianne, first year connection, obviously needs a lot of help, but look at this about page. So why is she selling? She's a referral partner at Send Out Cards. In other words, it's an MLM deal. And she's talking about, okay, I mean, she's, here's some stuff about, the kinds of things you need to build out a network marketing downline. Nobody cares about the fact that she's a nurse. I mean, it's cool, but if you really cared about this, you could look down here and see that. What's this girl's name? Marianne. Marianne's going to get no business from this page. Okay, unless somebody just blindly stumbles upon it and says, just out of the goodness of their heart says, oh, send out cards. I'm going to contact her. Marianne's going to get zero business out of this page. And again, it's the same thing. One more thing, and I want to mention, is a branding issue, and then we will start to wrap it up. According to what kind of screencast software you use, rather screen capture software you use. I mean, a lot of times I will use Snagit, which I think is like $50, and it's not even per year. It's like $50 until they come out with a new version, which they do every once in a blue moon, and I want to upgrade, although I don't even think they charge me for the upgrade. So look, $50, bam, you're done. Snagit works really, really well. I know in Tom and Nick's course, they talked about some other platforms that worked well. Those are great. If you already have the next piece of software I'm talking about, or really want to fork out a little money, I've forgotten exactly how much it is. It's between $200 and $300. You can go with Camtasia. So Camtasia is not like total high-end, but it's really very flexible video editing software. And one thing that Camtasia can do that I really, really like, and that I would think about if I were you, is you ever see a video where there's a box here and then you can actually see the person who's doing the talking? Okay, so in Camtasia terminology, I think they call that PIP, picture in a picture. Okay, that would be really, really good. You don't have to have that, but if you do already have Camtasia or you got a little money to invest in this and you want to buy Camtasia, I know Snagit will not do this, and I don't know, I use Snagit and Camtasia. Those are the ones that I know about a lot. There may be something else that will do this, but if you want to create a video that has like a box here with you talking, right? That's going to be killer, okay? It goes back to psychologically how human beings work and that we're visual creatures. Hearing your voice is good. Seeing your face is going to go, that's going to give people the know, like, and trust factor. So much more know, like, and trust, good feeling about you than just hearing your voice. Now, one more quick thing. On that, in that box, there's some things that you want to have, especially if you're approaching higher end businesses like attorneys. You want to have a decent background, all right? And I mean, it could be a nothing background. I mean, it literally could be the wall of your bedroom that you turn into an office, okay? But that wall better look really, really good. In other words, your 4-year-old there shouldn't be little crayon marks that your 4-year-old has left, right? It might be just something that you hung up behind you or some sort of screen or something like that. You don't have to go all the way to a green screen if you want to. I personally wouldn't, because you want to send out more, not fewer, of these little marketing messages going out into, going out, and you want to set up a schedule doing this. So I really probably, the green screen just adds another couple of steps to it. But if you want some nice background, a cloth background, a really good friend of mine who does a lot of this kind of marketing, her husband built her some, how would you describe it, like some bamboo panels, okay, with like burlap in between them, whatever. I mean, it just looks nice, okay? So you want the background to look nice, and you, my friend, have to look nice, all right? So you may be marketing in your underwear, right? You may be sitting in your chair just in your undies, and that's fine. Nobody, I mean, whatever floats your boat. Just so you know, I'm not currently doing that, but whatever floats your boat, because the camera's not looking down there, right? But the part of you on the camera needs to look like, I want you to hear this, this is really important sales stuff, needs to look like what your target market thinks you should look like if they're going to buy from you. Attorneys wear ties still. I mean, not a lot of people in business wear ties anymore. Attorneys still wear ties, a lot of them. You would at least want a nice, I mean, you don't have to wear a tie, but you would at least want a nice shirt. Maybe you want a jacket over that shirt, I don't know, but you would at least want not a pullover shirt, but a button-down shirt with a little bit of starch in it. If you're, if you're on LinkedIn approaching these guys, maybe you could get done. Maybe you could get away with a really nice-looking, newer polo shirt. Hair combed, hair done, ladies, makeup on. I'm sorry to say that for you, because I know it takes you longer to get rolling than it does us. Guys, you need to have shaved. You need to look sharp, all right? You need to look just like you would look if you were going to go to meet the person in person. So that last little thing, let's get back to this and wrap it up. We've talked about this, how to approach the prospect, make sure the prospect is really a prospect. In other words, it's going to behoove you to figure out if they need your service as best you can before you actually, send them one of these little marketing videos, and we talked about that. Make the video according to what you learned in remote client system. Send the video, and big key is follow-up. Hang on, Joseph is telling us something about, yeah, I've never used Nimbus. I've used Jing before. I used to use Jing. I don't know why I quit. Maybe because I got Snagit. I don't know. I love Camtasia. If I want the picture-in-picture thing, I'm definitely using Camtasia. If I just want to just show the screen, I'm going to use Snagit. If I'm not expecting to have to do a lot of editing, if I'm going to do editing, then I got to get it in Camtasia and edit it. But you know, if I just want a straight capture, I'm going to use Snagit. But I've never used Nimbus. Loads fast and doesn't hog resources like the TechSmith products. Yeah, well, that's actually true. Free version gives you 30 minutes of free version gives you 30 minutes of capture with excellent sound and picture. Also great. Hang on a minute. So somebody else just wrote in here. Also great screenshots. Awesome, Joseph. Thank you so much. So guys, Nimbus is certainly a possibility. I really want to talk to you about follow-up. You know, it's one thing to get all excited about a new info product, remote client system that you bought, and get all hot and bothered for a few days or maybe even a week, and then you're sending out some videos and maybe you get some leads back. Unfortunately, most people, and there's some reasons why, which I'm not going to go into on this webinar. It's not your fault, by the way, but there's some very specific reasons why a lot of people get distracted and just move on to the next thing, which results in you never really building a business, which is kind of sad. But if you do stay the course, okay, if you actually are sending out X number of marketing messages, and I personally would send out at least 10, X number of marketing messages per day, Monday through Friday, that would be 50 a week, which is going to be about 220 or so a month. You know, what's that? Like way over 2,000 a year. You're gonna get some really good business out of that. But if you're doing that on a very, very consistent basis, which frankly is the key, there's going to be follow-up. All right. So somebody's going to email you back and say, yeah, I'm interested. And you're going to email them and say, well, cool. Well, you know, what we need to do next is, however, guys, however your sales funnel works, well, you know, what we need to do next is get on Zoom, you know, whatever it is that you do, right? You need to tell them what to do. And let's say the person emails you back and says, well, look, I'm really busy this week. Could you call me Monday of next week and we can set something up? So now that's good because they're interested perhaps, but now you as a salesperson have follow-up to do, right? You got somebody who might be interested and you have to spend your time making a call to get in touch with that person. Now, this will happen. I can guarantee you, if you are consistently sending out these videos, these marketing videos, and it's not going to take but about a week or two for this to happen, you're going to get, I mean, seriously, I've seen this in my own, when I was building my own business back in the day. I mean, this is exactly what happened to me, and it's exactly what happens to other people. A week or two, you're going to get what I call a glut of follow-up. If you're not careful, you're going to get so much follow-up that you're going to spend your time following up with all these people. By far the majority of them, like 95% of them, are never going to buy. It just is what it is. Okay. So I, for myself, came up with some rules of follow-up, which worked for me a lot in my business. You're going to want to do some follow-up, but not a lot. Again, trust me on this. I know what I'm talking about. You really want to opt for getting more business by sending out more videos and initial emails, and doing less follow-up. I tend to follow up one time. All right. So let's say that example I had where the person said, hit me up Monday and let's find a time, you know, when we can actually talk next week. I would call them back Monday. You know, nobody answers their phone anymore. It's going to be voicemail, right? So I'd call them back Monday. And if they don't call me back, they're gone. I'm done. Okay. Now, just so you know, I personally put them on an autoresponder, and, you know, we have a whole campaign that we send them which results in a lot of business later on, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking to you about right now. But I follow up on the phone one time, end of conversation, okay? If you continue to follow up, you're going to get so much follow-up to do that you're going to quit the initial prospecting, and that's going to kill your business, right? I think that was the last important thing I had to tell you. We got some Q&A. Joseph said something. Also like Nimbus because it saves in straight MP4 rather than TechSmith proprietary format. Lost 100 plus client videos when I upgraded from the very, yeah. I just upgrade Camtasia whenever they want me to upgrade it because it has better features. And I save it in the Camtasia format, but I also go ahead and the newer Camtasias will go ahead and reformat it to MP4. So I do both of those, you know, that way that doesn't happen. But I know what you're talking about. Cool beans, guys. Thank you so much for buying Remote Client System through my link. I hope you're enjoying it. I think it's killer. I've given you some new ideas about what to sell, how to sell, psychologically, how it works. I would encourage you to actually do this because this is the kind of stuff you need to be doing to actually build a real business. And I've given you a few resources. Questions. Does anybody have any questions they want to shoot by me real fast? I had intended for this webinar to be somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. And as usual, it's a little longer. Brian, thank you so much, buddy.